All across the country, we see a familiar process taking place. And that's the idea that the year ends and people make these New Year's resolutions. They set goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the sad statistic is that only about 8% of those people will achieve those New Year's resolutions or those goals. So what's the difference? Why do 8% achieve them and the vast majority fail? Well, when we study elite performers and successful people, we know that there are two attributes that really stand out. The elite performer understands it's a mindset, that anytime you're going to make any kind of change, you have to create a new mindset, or it's going to take some new thinking. It's about getting out of your comfort zone. It's about pushing that status quo back and making the change that you want to make. So thinking determines your feelings. Feelings determines your actions or your behaviors. And if you're unhappy with your actions and your behaviors, it's going to take some new thinking. Number two, they know how to motivate themselves. They know how to get started. They take small steps and they take them one day at a time. Day 2, day 3, day 4, small repetitive steps that get them into the process immediately of achieving their goal. I call that the 1% rule. So 1% to the power of 365 days is a 32% increase. You've heard me say that before. And any of us would take a 32% increase in our productivity. So it's those small baby steps. The elite performer, they're preloading. And what I mean by that is this. You want to lose 20 pounds. You put a picture of yourself up on the refrigerator, and in that old bathing suit 10 years ago, you were 20 pounds less. You know what? Nothing wrong with that. But when you walk down the next morning at 6 o'clock and you're getting ready to walk out when it's like here in Ohio, it's 17 degrees, and that's a daunting task. And what the elite performer preloads is the idea that I'm going to take a small step. I'm just going to walk around that block for 15 minutes, or I'm going to go get on the floor, and I'm going to start off with some stretching exercises to start to prepare my body to achieve that ultimate goal that I want to achieve. So we want to keep the goal in mind, but we want to preload the idea. What's that first step that I'm going to take to achieve that goal? That 1% rule. What's that 1% or that little thing that I'm going to do today to motivate myself, to get myself activated to take the immediate step? So a couple of ideas on achieving our goals and resolutions. And one last point is, I think it's even more of a lifestyle change with many of these goals. It's even a longer term thing than just a New Year's resolution. It's a habit that maybe can sustain us in many parts of our lives over the long term. And that's better well-being. So I hope you had a great week. Hope you have a great rest of the day. See you next week. This is Pete Kunk, Built to Lead.